Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you guys know, in our last tutorial, we are learning about useEffect hook. You guys have learned how to use useEffect hook. There was one point that is to be noted was useEffect hook runs after every render and re-render of React component. Secondly, we had learned how to run the useEffect hook conditionally. In today's tutorial, we will be learning how we can run useEffect hooks single time or how useEffect hook can act as class lifecycle method component did mount. Why is it necessary to learn? We will be discussing about it, and we can first learn the example with the help of class component for our listeners that who don't know about class components. Later on we will be implementing the same example by using hooks with useEffect hook. So let's move on. I have a class counter here, same as before. I had written a code already here. In constructor, I have a state in which I have one x and y, two variables inside the state. Both of them are initialized with 0. Later on, I have a function. What this function does is this function will take a mouse position as an argument and set up in the state variable x the x coordinate of the mouse position, and in the y coordinate y coordinate position of the mouse. Then we have component did mount method from the class lifecycle that will run single time when we will be running this project, or this component will come into the DOM. It will run single time. What it will do is it will add a listener of mouse move, and in each movement of mouse you will be seeing that the function log mouse will be called. For example, I will say here like this console dot log mouse position called. I will say like this. And then inside the render method, I'm destructing my state and I'm showing them under a div in paragraph format. Let's go ahead and see in our browser. Let me reload it. You guys can see the x and y coordinates are 0. As soon as I will move my mouse, you see log mouse position called 47 time, and my x and y coordinates are getting changed. This is the very simple and normal example using class components. Let's go ahead and try to implement it by using functional component and hook. I have a hook counter here already. What I will do here is I will remove this. I'll remove the input what we have done last time also, and in use effect I'll make it empty also like this, and this one as well. Here I need x, and for example set x. Then I need y coordinate. I will say y and set y. And then here what I want here is I want similar thing like this. I want to print out x and y inside the div that I will be printing and showing it in my DOM. And what I want here is I want to log the position. Here I am logging this one is the function that will allow me to get the current position of x coordinate and y coordinate and set up in the state. How can I set up in the state is I will say set x like this, and e dot client x will be as a parameter, and then set y, and similar thing will be as a parameter e dot client y. Set state is actually a function of class lifecycle method, so we'll remove that one. Here in use effect, first of all I will write a console dot log. I'll say use effect called, and under that one I'll just pass this same line that I am passing in component did mount, that is an event listener I am adding to a document that is mouse move, and that function log mouse position I'm passing that inside an event listener. Let me hit save, go to my browser, and let's try to rerun. It's saying log mouse position is not defined. Let me say here const is missing, and this is an extra here as it's class, not a class life cycle. We are not using class. We are in functional component. That's why let me go ahead and try to rerun it. See, you guys can see I had rerun the project. As soon wait a while, let me go here and try to comment out the class counter and open the hook counter one. And here I will do reload. Sorry to say, here I will do reload. You guys can see use effect hook is called twice. What is why use effect hook is called? Here, this is the use effect hook. So what we had learned before is use effect hook is getting called in every render. Let me remove this one from here. In every render and re-render of the component. So let me go ahead and try to reload. You guys can see twice use effect hook is called. The component render use effect is called. Hook is called. As soon as I will move my mouse inside, you guys can see every time use effect hook is calling. And every time inside use effect hook, I am setting up this event listener again and again. So that is unnecessary to set up again and again. So in this kind of situation, or the situation that we have it right now, we need some time to call use effect hook single time. So React give us a method in which we can call, or we can tell to React to call the callback inside use effect hook in one time only when you are rendering the component. How? Similarly, last time you guys see we are passing second parameter in the last tutorial, and passing the parameter, passing the variable as a parameter in which we are letting the use effect to run conditionally. What we will do is we will keep the same array empty, same as I am keeping it like this, opening and closing square brackets and keeping it empty. That means, hey React, just call this callback once time when the component is getting rendered. Later on, no need to call. Let me hit save and go on into my browser. Let's reload. You can see one time use effect is called. Here two time is logged. Why? Because I'm not using strict mode. I'm using strict mode. If you want to use strict, no, you want to call it one time, just remove from app.js strict mode like this. If I will go here, let me go ahead to my browser index.js, this one. Just let me comment out this strict mode and let me reload it. You guys can see now it's calling the use effect hook one time only. So as soon as I will move my browser, it's just taking the XY coordinates again and again, and it's not calling my use effect hook again and again. Like in my hook counter, it's not logging, the compiler is not logging line number 15 again and again. Instead, it's logging line number 9 again and again. That's why, because on document, I had added a event listener that's calling the log mouse position function again and again. You guys will be thinking like why it's very normal to let you know in one line that just keep the empty array and you can understand it. But here, what I am doing here in these tutorials is to letting you to understand each step in detail with example. Why is it necessary and where we are using it? That's why I'm coming up with each topic with an example to let you understand in a better way. I hope you guys understand it. Please don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.